What's going on, guys? Alright, so today is a little bit of a special video. Instead of recording what I normally do over there on the computer, I thought I'd do something a little special since we're getting ready for GDEX here in Columbus. I've talked about it on Twitter and probably in the videos a couple times. That's our convention coming up this weekend in Columbus, where we're actually going to have the first official playable alpha of Soda Dungeon 2, which we're pretty excited about. So today I thought I would just kind of run down and go through some of the stuff involved, just a quick look at what kind of goes into a small local convention. It's just sort of a mental reminder for me as well to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. So I don't know if this kind of video is interesting to you guys, or you'd rather just hear about Soda Dungeon the game, but not all this stuff. But either way, I thought I'd try this out. So what we're going to do is just kind of go through each. I kind of have a pile of stuff sitting around my office, and we're just going to make sure we got everything. So starting here in the drawer, this is kind of just, I mean, I have the stack of drawers for a variety of purposes, but this is sort of my Soda Dungeon / marketing type drawer. So inside here, these are last year's cards, and as much as I love them and would like to use them, we got some new ones printed for this year. So unfortunately, these don't really serve much of a purpose anymore. I guess they're sort of a memento, I guess, and they still look nice, but we're just going to keep those back there. And in case of emergency, if for some reason we get rid of all the new ones, I guess we can go with those. Got a little perler version of Fabulo. I made him last year. He just kind of sits at the booth just for a little extra decoration, so I'm sure he'll be coming back again. Down here we have a big old bag of buttons. These were pretty popular last year. A lot of people picked up these. We went through quite a bit. This is all I have left of the buttons, but the guys from Armor Games are coming in to help me with the booth, and they're going to bring some extras, so hopefully we don't run out or anything like that. Over here we got a couple tablet stands. I have a total of 4 of these. These are just the 2 sitting right in here. These are super handy because they can adjust to any height. Sorry, not height, but any angle. And they just look really good for displaying your tablets up on the booth. It kind of makes them much more eye-catching, and they look pretty nice themselves. So we got 4 of those to help out. Now, down below that, I picked some of these up last year, and I'm not going to use them again, but I invested in a few locks for our tablets. So you kind of had this system where you would glue this to the back of your tablet, and then you could actually physically lock it with a little key. And honestly, it's just not worth the effort. I mean, for one, the tablets we're using are not really high-end. They're just meant to sort of display the game. So, you know, it's kind of a pain when you want to show the game to people and they have this cord dragging behind them. So I'm gonna assume we can trust the people at the convention this year and not do the locks, because it just seems excessive. But I guess if we really need them, we still have them. These are some small tablet stands. They're like some $2 Amazon special, and we used a couple of these last year, and they're okay, but for just spending a couple extra bucks, it's much better to go with a full tablet stand like these. Over here we have a collection of kind of just postcard display slips. I don't know what else you would call these. These are pretty handy because we can take our cards. As you can see here, we took the last year's card, we put it in there, and that way we can kind of boost it up and set it vertically, so it's easier to catch the attention of people walking by. And so we did 2 of those. We did one for the front, one for the back, and then, oh, yeah, I guess we probably don't need this anymore, huh? So last year what we did is we just had one of these that says Soda Dungeon 2 in development, and then we had, if you guys can see here, get this stuff out of the way, we had a collection of printed out screenshots. So this was mostly concept art, but you can see like the full tavern with some of the characters, and sorry if the light's kind of dim. I probably should have set one up over here, but I'll step back a little bit. So yeah, we have this collection of screenshots, and but since we actually have the game this year, we don't have to worry about any of that, and that makes for a much better, having a playable game is a much better demonstration than just some printed screenshots, so that'll be nice. Oh, we also had these print-off forms we would use for a mailing list if someone wanted to sign up. But this year we're looking to do sort of like a Google form, both so that people can, if they play the alpha, we'd like some feedback, and then also they can use that same form to fill in their email address, and they can get signed up for our mailing list, or just our like the alpha the alpha sign up itself. So when we put the alpha out in October, we'll include those people in that as well. Oh, and I guess I can't forget, I don't know what to do with these. So my wife actually bought these for me a few years ago when we first launched Soda Dungeon, just as kind of like a fun celebration type thing. And I might bring some along. They're basically bubble bottles, so you can probably tell in the video here, but you basically take the cap out and they're little wands and you can blow bubbles with them, and they're kind of fun. But I don't know if people at the convention really are going to be excited about that. I'll probably bring a few just to have them, and I guess we'll see if... well, the thing is, we don't really have enough to give away. I have like 10 of these, so if we had a bunch, I guess we could give them out as kind of a souvenir. But as it is now, they're just kind of a thing we can use, and I don't know, it's kind of weird, so we'll keep that in mind, but we'll see what happens there. Alright, so that's a good chunk of our stuff there. If we walk over here, this is kind of the device lab area. If you work on mobile games, this is probably pretty familiar. You're going to have 5, 6, 7 tablets sitting around, all hooked up to a charger. One new addition this year that I'm pretty excited about, I picked this up off of Amazon. So last year we had our power strip, but every tablet had to be plugged in separately with the USB to sort of power adapter converter. But this time I picked up one of these bricks, so we can just set this up on the table. It takes up much less space, it looks nicer, and we can just plug all the tablets in directly, just by their USB end, so we don't have to worry about the power side. So yeah, these are the 4 main tablets. We'll have some others for backup. You can see the demo running right there. Starting up a new game. Just finished up the builds last night. Did some testing. I think everything is pretty solid, pretty happy with it. Hopefully no major issues will happen during the convention, so fingers crossed for that. Alright, we make our way over here. Here's where the rest of the stuff is. So whenever it's the convention, we got to pack up our soda holder and our loot beer. Now, these I'm really happy with how they turned out, and we had these last year too. What's kind of funny about these is that people often come up to us and they ask how they can buy these or like what's in them basically. And as much as I wish they were real, they aren't. They really are just. We found just a pack of root beer. I think I don't know if you can see it in the camera there. It's called Boiling Root Beer. And we pretty much just took their bottles and we put our own labels on. We had Pox make up a nice little label. It looks very official, 10 mana per serving. Yeah, so these turned out really well. They make a very fun kind of decoration to just put on the table. Again, it's just another one of those eye-catching things where you walk by and you kind of see like a bottle of root beer, and I don't know, it should hopefully look interesting. So it's at least enough that people ask us about it, so we must be on the right track. But behind that, we've got a couple more of the tablet holders that I mentioned before. This little glass bowl, we use it to put pins in, the pins and buttons. Don't know why, I just kind of got stuck on using this, and I think it looks pretty good on the table, so probably use that again. Back here, just a basic monitor. So if anyone's seen our promotional material, like our game trailer or the commercial we did with the Tubular Dudes, generally during the day we run that on loop, just off a laptop, and so if anyone's playing the game, they can play it, but if anyone's just at the booth, they can kind of watch the video display and get an idea of what the game is about. If there's, if they're just sort of casually walking by, or maybe they don't want to try out the game or anything like that. So down here we have just a few more things. These are the new cards I was talking about. So these are the same size as the ones before, but these are obviously made for Soda Dungeon 2. Really happy with how these turned out. Nice print job, nice cut job. We were able to pack in a lot more sprites at a higher density on this one compared to the old one. Actually, here, I'll put them side by side. The old cards were good, but in these ones, I think the artwork just stands out a lot better. Here, let's get that side by side here. I think if anything, this version, the art got a little more blown up than it should have, whereas this one, like I said, a lot more compact and a lot more detail that we were able to fit in. Back of the card's pretty similar. We're just kind of advertising Soda Dungeon 2 and mentioning that you can still download Soda Dungeon 1 in the meantime. So we got plenty of those to give out. We got our classic cheap tactic of giving out candy at the booth. So, if you just take I kind of settled on Starburst. It can be anything really, but you just take some candy, you set it out across the table, and anyone walking by, if they like candy, they're going to come up, they're going to grab one, and with any luck, they'll feel just a little bit guilty about taking your candy, which makes them want to check out your booth. And you know, I don't, I don't feel bad about doing this because this happens to me all the time. I will always grab free candy from a booth, and when I do, I will be sure to also grab any promotional flyers or listen to what the representatives at the booth want to talk about. So, also, this candy is really good to eat throughout the day. We probably eat a little too much of it, but that's okay. Not too worried about it. It's a special occasion. Anyway, so we just have a small collection of totes and bags. That's how we bring the stuff into the convention. We don't have a whole lot of material, so it's not a big deal. And then lastly, we have our banner over here. Now we're actually getting a new one printed. And when I made this video, or as I'm making it, or before I made it, I was hoping to feature the new banner in it, which uses the same art from our new cards. However, there's been a bit of a delay at the printing location. So we load into the convention tomorrow, and it looks like we're not going to be able to pick it up until tonight or tomorrow morning. So we're cutting it pretty close, but they promised it's going to be ready for us to pick up, so I'm not too worried about it. I just wish we would have had it by now. This banner is what we used last year, and it turned out really well, but it's a little bit small. I know there's nothing for comparison right here. It's about a 2 foot by 4 foot banner, and it's not bad, but when you get to the convention and you set it next to all the tables and all the other booths, it does look kind of small. So this year we upgraded to a 4 by 6 foot banner, so almost twice as big as this. It could be huge. So we're going to use that as the main backing, and then we're going to put this one, we're going to try and hang it up like out into the aisleway and try to catch some attention just from the sides from people walking around. So hopefully that'll all work out. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. As I look around, I don't think we're forgetting anything. It's just a matter of kind of getting this all packed up into the car. Shouldn't be a big deal. But thank you guys for watching. I hope to see maybe a few of you at the convention this weekend. Again, I know it's kind of weird to make a drive to Columbus, Ohio. It's not really the main place that you expect to see or play games at. It's kind of a new thing they're trying to build up, and I think they're doing a really good job of it. And I think GDEX can be much bigger someday. It's already been growing every year that we've gone to it, so definitely excited to see how that turns out. But if you can't make it, obviously that's totally fine. We're still on track for an alpha in October. If you check out our Twitter account, I posted up some details, just talking about some notes about the alpha itself, just to kind of get you guys prepped for it. Once we get back from GDEX, you know, we're going to take a week or so to just double check the build, make sure everything's good, make sure there's no you know, outstanding bugs or anything like that, and then we'll start to get our pages set up where we, like on Steam and Android, where we can get the channels of distribution ready for the alpha. And then from there, we'll start to let you guys know. So hopefully everything goes smoothly. I don't anticipate any issues. And yeah, we'll see what happens. When we get time for the alpha, or when time comes for the alpha, I'm not sure if I'm going to do another video. I'll probably wait till a little bit after. So again, just keep an eye on either our Discord, our subreddit, our Twitter. Everything's going to be announced through there. And yeah, so we should be good to go. So again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon.